caught me practicing. And if you don't know me, I'm Crystal from the Crystal Center of Healing. And if you've watched any of my videos before, yes, I look a little different. I talk to you all about self-care and what that can mean for you to help you with your life, to de-stress, to relax, to learn, to move forward. And yes, I look a little different. More of my natural state. I usually don't put this on my head. I haven't for years since I was a teenager, but I thought I'd put it on because I have my hair pulled back and it's kind of, I have curly hair and it gets really frizzy. But I started out playing guitar because I just wanted you to open your mind to adding something new to your self-care practices. Trying something new, learning something new. You can learn an instrument. You could learn to, do something in art, draw or paint or sculpt. There's so many things that you could do. And, you don't have to do it to be like the best in the world. I mean, you just heard my guitar playing. I've been playing on and off for a few years now, and I'm not great. But it brings me joy to learn to play some songs that are on the radio, or used to be on the radio. That was kind of a variation of Zombie from the Cranberries. And I learned to play a grunge song by Hole, Doll Parts. Some of the easier tunes to play. And I just enjoy music. And there's somebody who keeps walking out in front of my house. Because music brings me a lot of joy, even though I'll never be a singer-songwriter like I thought I would be in my teenage years. I always sang for years and years, and I did a video where I was singing very flatly, might I add, but I don't sing every day anymore. And I didn't warm up before I was just singing, But I'm just trying to make a point that you can enjoy things and not be like a subject matter expert in it. If you enjoy doing it, then just do it. Be relaxed about it. Even you could get your family involved in starting a new hobby, like in music, you all could pick an instrument. I know I read a story years ago about the pop singer Cyndi Lauper, if you've ever heard of her. One of her big songs was like Time After Time. She's had a lot of hits over the years, and she just got inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last year, I believe. But she never learned an instrument. She always just sang. But I remember reading an article years ago where she went into like a pawn shop where they happened to have a lot of instruments, and she picked one, and she found one that she learned to play pretty well and was playing it on stage. Now, obviously we're not Cyndi Lauper, but it's something to do and try out, and you can always take it back to the pawn shop. There's so many different types of instruments. I mean, if you just looked up string instruments, you'll find tons of them, and you can find like old medieval instruments. There's even bands that will find these medieval instruments and play them. I can't remember the name of the band overseas that does that. It's really cool. But, I'm just saying, find a hobby. That can be part of your self-care. It doesn't all have to be meditation and journaling and all the traditional things. Finding a hobby that you love to do, that you might learn something from, I think is a wonderful idea. Music is great. Music is universal. Do anything. Even if it's just exploring new types of music. Go back and listen to music from the Elizabethan period or whatever. There's very interesting things to learn about music, as well as learning to play music, or even just the history of music, the history of rock and roll, the history of jazz, whatever genre you might be in. You can, just research the history, and it could be something that you love to do, art, same art history. There's tons of art history, and everybody that goes to college and is learning art has to take art history. And a lot of times I know undergrads that aren't even studying art take an art history course because it's so interesting to see the different painters from the different times. I happen to be a Van Gogh person, and I've read up a lot on him, and I wish I had a reproduction of Starry Night because that's one of my favorite, or Stars Over the Rhone. But it's limitless of what you can do for your self-care. Like I said, you don't have to stick to traditional things. Whatever gets you to release the stress, to be present. I had a thought and it just went out of my head. We'll blame menopause for that. But yeah, to de-stress and relax is what I'm trying to get at, basically, because this is all about self-care and your self-care. So tailor it to you. As long as you're de-stressing, relaxing, I encourage you to learn something from it. It doesn't have to be like an academic kind of learn. You can learn something about yourself from it. Because I believe that we should be learning all the time and recognizing when we do learn something new. So yeah, I was kind of relaxing myself and watching a really old TV show from the 90s, The Golden Palace. If any of you are Golden Girls enthusiasts out there, usually if I'm in a bad mood or I need to de-stress or relax, I'll put on The Golden Girls. And then I remember there was The Golden Palace, and I didn't really remember the show that much because there was only one season of it, I believe. So I'm like watching it now and streaming. So that's kind of my guilty pleasure, watching that. I'm almost done with it. But I had this thought about grabbing my guitar and getting on and doing a video to show you that there's different ways for self-care. And it doesn't, like I said, doesn't have to be the traditional methods. So if you have any questions or comments, I love to talk back and forth about stuff and how are you feeling, because, I'm just here to help and suggest things. You know what's best for you, and you know in your heart if you're doing something that works for you. My opinion really doesn't matter. It matters what you think and how you feel and how you want to move forward with your life. So, let's do an affirmation card for the week. So I have my trusty deck, and hopefully I don't have to read anything because it's kind of dark in here. I turned on the light and opened the shades here, but it must be getting late. I thought it was only like 7 o'clock. Oh, it's almost 8. Well, the sun will be setting here soon in Florida. Okay, so what card do the people watching this need to hear? And then we'll do our guided meditation. What card do we need to hear? Who needs to hear something specific? Okay, Spirit. That's 3 cards. That's too many. We need one. One week we did 2. Alright. I looked at these cards, and I think they're all important. So, we're going to do them very quickly. We got invoking self-realization. Then we got uncovering confidence. And that might be for me because of playing the guitar in front of a video, which I think I've done once. Way back when I was even worse than I am now. Illuminating the truth is card number 3. So why we have 3 cards this week, I don't know. It's up to Spirit. So let's go back to invoking self realization. What is the mantra on the back of that? Each breath confirms how awake I already am. Each breath confirms how awake I already am. I think that's self-explanatory. Okay, uncovering confidence. What is the affirmation from that? I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. I don't think that needs any more self explanation either. I am the missing piece that completes the puzzle of the universe. We're a collective. We're all in this together. We are really connected. And it's interesting how that works when you really think about it. And the third card of illuminating the truth. I am willing to see things clearly, no matter the outcome. I am willing to see the things clearly, no matter the outcome. And last week I talked about fear and being truthful, and I kind of can see how that might tie into this card. Because sometimes when we have these fears, we hide from things. We're in denial. And it's important that we don't live in fear, we don't live in denial, and we embrace whatever the outcome is of the situation that this may be talking about in your life. I mean, I had to come to the realization that yes, my 2 dogs died last year and I lost my cat. But we still have a connection. And it's hard because they're not physically here. Boo's not, leaning up beside me, looking back at me, making sure I'm okay, and licking my face. That the part of the physicality is really difficult. But when you lose people, they're still with you in spirit. Not necessarily your spirit guides, because you come with guides. But you are still connected, and you can connect to those that have passed. And that's part of illuminating the truth. So that I do all this off the cuff basically. I'll get an idea and just come and sit in front of the camera. And I don't plan my meditations. But I'm thinking with this last card that maybe we work on a connection to somebody that's a loved one that has passed, whether it's a human or a pet, or even somebody that maybe you lost touch with, or maybe they bullied you and they passed and you never got a chance to work that out or say your piece. We can do that in this meditation. We can try to connect to whoever it is. I am a trained medium too. Don't do a whole lot of that, but every once in a while I get to talking to people, and I'll have loved ones come in. And it's always an interesting thing when that happens. It's been a while since that's happened because I have to kind of talk to you for a little bit and get a sense. But you can communicate with people that are past because we're all energy, and energy is never destroyed. So, if you get comfortable and hopefully you cleared your space before you clicked on my video, because I'm always wanting you to clear your space out of lower vibrational frequencies, or negative energy, as people say. So get comfortable. When you're ready, close your eyes. Take 3 deep belly breaths and take your time. And when you're ready, put yourself in a bubble, a golden bubble or golden egg, depending what works for you. Get comfortable in your bubble. Make sure it's the right temperature for you. And you're completely relaxed. If you need to yawn, that's a good thing. And I want you to start thinking about the person that you want to connect to that has passed, or fur baby, or should I say pet? They're not all furry. Like if you had like a pet chameleon or something. Which I've lived with chameleons and reptiles and stuff. Chameleons are really kind of cool. So think about a really good, joyous memory with this person that's passed. One of your favorite memories. And feel the emotion that you have from that memory. And let your heart open. Remember to breathe while you're thinking about this joyous memory with your loved one. Or memories. Like if I think about my dog Boo, I think about the different things that sometimes when I try to get his attention outside and his ears would go up and he'd look so cute and he'd come trotting over to me all excited. Now I want you to make room in your bubble and have your loved one across from you in your bubble. Let them get comfortable in your bubble with you. Just imagine them as they were, and like in your memory. Just have them sitting there, smiling at you, loving you unconditionally. And once you get a firm feeling and seeing of them, visualization of them in your bubble, I want you to imagine a green straw going from your heart to theirs. And make the straw bigger and bigger so your two hearts are connected and communicating. Keep feeling the joy, the compassion, the unconditional love while you're connecting with your loved one. And when you're comfortable, talk to them. If there's anything that you didn't get to say to them, say it now. You can say it out loud, or you could just say it in your head. Then once you're finished saying what you're saying, you can ask them a question. You can let them just say, do you have anything to say to me? And let them communicate with you. Don't be afraid. You're protected in your bubble. Anytime I have you in your bubble, you're always safe. So communicate with your loved one and let them communicate with you. They may not talk. You may just feel feelings, or they may speak to you. So don't be afraid. It's okay. Just allow the exchange to happen naturally. Now you can stay in the bubble with them for a little bit, or if you're ready to come out of your bubble, just close the straw, make it smaller, and erase the straw and come back to your bubble yourself. And when you're ready, keep breathing, and then you can come out of your bubble and open your eyes. If you want to continue, just keep continuing. And I'm just going to say, I'm Crystal from the Crystal Center of Healing. Please like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you next time. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you get something out of the affirmation cards. Remember, self-care is about you and how you need to distress and relax and do what's necessary for yourself. I hope you have a great week.